The following is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
There are many memories made in 30 years.
Come on, everybody! Clap your hands!
The look is sleek, sporty. Every inch says this is the fine car touch.
R-E-S-P-C-T! Wipeout! He's gonna run the first 4-minute mile! Some men swim the sea. Dream, baby, got me dreaming sweet dreams. Well, sing it up, baby, now. Sing it up, baby. Oh, pretty woman.
To get a really close, comfortable electric shave, get a really dry beard. Wet it first with
Electric shave.
I'm ready to go.
I am one.
8 miles high and falling fast.
Law! Law!
Hi, I'm not home right now, Ginger Bob.
Give me a light. Bud Light.
And down the stretch they come!
Take it to the limit. Pull up your suit.
Be happy.
Wanna feel it. We can build this dream together. Standing strong forever.
Problem.
Hold on for one more day. Get up and make it happen. They had style, they had grace.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat, the human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sport. Through several wars and half a lifetime, from black and white to living color, on all the continents and in scores of countries, Wide World of Sports has taken you on the longest journey in television sports history. Today we celebrate. Today we remember our 30 years on the move.
Your hosts for ABC's Wide World of Sports 30th Anniversary Special, Jim McKay and Frank Gifford.
Good afternoon. In early April of 1961, I was covering the Masters Golf Tournament for CBS when I got a phone call from a man I had never met named Roone Arledge. He wanted me to be the host for a 20-week summer replacement series featuring a variety of sports, and he said a good deal of travel. Well, 20 weeks has turned into 30 years, and we're still traveling, looking for the constant variety of sport. It's beginning to look like steady work.
I'd say you've got the job, Jim. One thing for sure, Wide World of Sports has traveled to the far corners of the earth and uncovered sporting events we never even dreamed existed. And the one constant during our journey has been the magnificence of the athletes we've encountered. They have touched us with their determination to realize the thrill of victory and their dignity in accepting the agony of defeat. They've welcomed us into their homes and made sports history with us at their side.
Well, the world, believe me, little noted our first show on April 29th, 1961. To put things in the perspective of time, John F. Kennedy had just been inaugurated. The Soviets had just put the first man in space. Roger Maris had just one home run in the early weeks of the baseball season. Nobody would have guessed that Maris would break Babe Ruth's record that year, or certainly that Wide World would still be around today. As you'll see in a moment, we were all a lot younger, haircuts were shorter, and television was as simple as black and white. Today's exciting show launches ABC's Wide World of Sports, a new and exciting global concept of sports. I'm Jim McKay at Franklin Field in Philadelphia for the 67th Annual Penn Relay Carnival. Each Saturday, for the next 20 weeks, we'll be taking our cameras to the scene of famous sports events all over the world. We almost didn't make it through those first 20 summer replacement weeks. The ratings were terrible. But then we went to Moscow for the U.S.-Soviet track and field meet, taking with us half 100 technicians and 20 tons of equipment. Before 100,000 people, we watched the lady known as Wonderful Wilma.
At this point, remember, Wilma Rudolph is running the anchor for the United States. And here they come, Rudolph and Zetkana Shukhanova taking it. Shukhanova out in front, and Rudolph giving it everything. Here she comes, Wilma Rudolph, winging her way to the finish line. She's going to make it.
And we met Valerie Brumel. The young Soviet would set a world record that day and again the next 2 years as we televised the U.S.-Soviet competition.
Valerie Brumel of Russia has set a new world record in the high jump. And listen to the Russians roar.
Contacts between the United States and communist nations were chilly in those days. Khrushchev ruled Russia, and Kennedy worried behind his smile. In Red Square, they flaunted their missiles. And in Berlin, that ugly, terrible wall was erected. Still, Wide World got behind that Iron Curtain.
This is Prague, Czechoslovakia, just about 150 miles northwest of Vienna, but a world away in politics because here we're behind the Iron Curtain. This city, however, does not have the bleak look of most Iron Curtain countries. It couldn't have, because this is what its citizens call Golden Prague, one of the oldest and most beautiful of all the capitals of the world. And here on Paris Street are the people of Prague, as curious about us, apparently, as we are about them.
Young Dick Button joined us there for the World Figure Skating Championships, an association that still continues.
Here's the story of the Jelenics, Otto and Maria, the Canadians who will be returning to their native city of Prague, which they left some 13 years ago as small children. They hope to return in triumph.
Yes, we reported the dramatic story of Otto and Maria Jelinek. As children, they had fled their native Czechoslovakia with their parents in the dark of night. Now they returned.
A double overhead lift.
It couldn't have been more exciting, and we skated to Czech music. We had Czech people yelling our names. We were a symbol of freedom coming back, and it couldn't have been any better.
Every time they took to the ice, the roar of the crowd was a political comment for which no individual could be punished. Otto and Maria were young people bringing back memories of the Prague that used to be.
Being able to bring back a breath of freedom to the Czechoslovakian people, winning the gold medal for Canada, but also somehow for the repressed people of Czechoslovakia, I felt, was more important to me than winning 10 or 20 Olympic gold medals.
Wide World went behind another barrier close to home in Cuba. Peter Jennings interviewed Fidel Castro, but Fidel interpreted for the interpreter.
No, he never forgets. Can you tell me what the commandante said?
Dice, el comandante dice que él cree.
Another political barrier was breached in mainland China. Richard Nixon and Zhou Enlai watched young Chinese exhibit their skills in gymnastics. And it wasn't long before the Chinese came here for what was called ping-pong diplomacy.
It's never happened before in the United States. A sports delegation from the People's Republic of China, Communist China, entering Kobo Arena. Oh, look at that.
It was only 3 years ago that we showed the Harlem Globetrotters straddling Checkpoint Charlie with visits to West and East Berlin. As the Trotters worked their magic on the children of the East, no one could have imagined that a little more than a year later, the Humpty Dumpty state of East Germany would have a great fall, that the wall itself would come tumbling down, and there would be one less barrier to be broken.
I'm young, I'm handsome, I'm bad, I'm pretty, and can't possibly be beat.
A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better. And better and better. Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality.
Most guys would tell you they don't really think about their hair. Right. Personally, I think most guys want their hair to look good as long as it's not a hassle. That's where Pert Plus comes in. It's a unique shampoo and conditioner in one. So, you get clean, more manageable hair than with plain shampoo, but without any extra work. That's Pert Plus. Hey, I admit it, I think about my hair. But it's not all I think about.
Wash and go with Pert Plus. Also in dandruff control.
If you order a suit designed around the way you're built, you have to wait about 2 months. If you want a house designed around the way you live, the wait is 2 years. But if what you desire is a car designed around the way you drive, you don't have to wait another day. The 1991 Acura Legend Coupe.
In my considered opinion, it's okay to enjoy mowing one's lawn. Oh, for heaven's sake. In fact, my snapper significantly enhances my sense of well-being. Of course, my snapper dealer was kind enough to offer a 14-day money-back test drive. The good man really stands behind his machines. So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional help. That's right. See your snapper dealer. Anything less just won't cut it.
ABC's Wide World of Sports 30th Anniversary Special is brought to you by Acura Automobiles. Experience precision-crafted performance. By Canon, America's #1 choice for copiers. By the Upjohn Company, if you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by Budweiser, the king of beers.
And still today, after you see this, you'll be shocked, you'll be laughing, and you will know that beyond the shadow of a doubt, I am still the greatest of all time.
Okay, once again, that's our show today on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
So many times during the 3 decades of Wide World of Sports, Muhammad Ali was the show. Over 60 times, in fact, far more than any other athlete. He had an impact that transcended sports and makes him, even today, arguably, the most famous man in the world. It all began in the very first fight ever broadcast on Wide World, and that was back in 1964, when he was still just a brash, unbeaten 22-year-old named Cassius Marcellus Clay.
My New Year's revolution is to knock out that big ugly bear, shake up the whole world in 1964, and talk no more.
Cassius Clay certainly did shake up the world in 1964 when he took on the menacing champion Charles Sonny Liston. Clay was a big underdog, but from the opening bell, there was an electricity about this young fighter with seemingly impossible quickness for a man his size. Cassius began to pressure Liston here in round 3, taunting him on the ropes. And then, with that combination, cutting the champion badly. Every time Liston tried to bull his way in, Clay glided out of danger. Until the bell for the 7th round, when an exposed and beaten Liston quit on the stool. And suddenly there was a new champion and a new fascination with this young man who grabbed the spotlight that night in Miami Beach and kept it for so many years to come. He was something special in and out of the ring, and he never let us forget it.
I believe a boast will mean a person who thinks they can do something when they can't. See, I know I can do it, and I have done it.
The day after the Liston fight, he announced his new name, Muhammad Ali. And in the rematch with Liston, he found himself caught up in a swirl of controversy. Action here in the first round. Now watch for the Liston jab. There. And the Ali counter right over it. The ex-champion went down and out. And for those who questioned the power of the punch and tried fix, Ali, as always, had the answer.
I had to time the man with my rhythm and bouncing where he was coming at me and where I was meeting him, and just... That's all. A twist. And you can't see it, but if you were hit with it, all of you'll be out.
The next year, 1966, Ali was a busy man, defending his title 6 times on Wide World of Sports, including the fight that most experts consider the one in which Ali was at his absolute peak against Cleveland Williams, when his magical blend of power and grace, speed of hand and foot, all combined in an awesome display. When it was over, Ali stood head and shoulders above the heavyweight division. In search of opponents, he briefly considered basketball star Wilt Chamberlain.
Gentlemen, I must
And cut that beard off because I'm not fighting Billy Goat.
That was the lighthearted Ali. 1 month later, the most serious controversy of his career as Ali refused to step forward for military induction. Minutes after that refusal, Ali's license was revoked and his title stripped.
I said that I'm going to be a man. I'm going to fight it legally. If I lose it, I'm just going to jail. Whatever the punishment, whatever the persecution is for standing up for my religious beliefs, even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
4 years later, the Supreme Court unanimously upheld Ali's position, but he had lost in the prime years of his professional career. Ali returned to the ring in 1970, and after a couple of tune-up fights, at the age of 29, he stepped into the ring against his successor as heavyweight champion, Smokin' Joe Frazier. And here in round 11, the key moment in the fight, as the indomitable Frazier hurt Ali with his relentless left hook and turned the balance of the fight his way. Ali proved his tremendous fighting heart that night by surviving that round. And he proved it again in the final round when another classic Frazier hook dropped Ali and sealed his first loss. Ali got up and lasted the distance, but we all wondered if the years in exile had finished Ali forever. 2 years later, in out of shape, Ali had his jaw broken and he lost to Ken Norton.
Ali is tired. Ali is really tired. He was just laughing at a party last night, joking.
Some experts wrote Ali off after this second loss.
What was once a very great fighter becomes now part of fistic history in all probability.
But Ali was the most improbable of athletes as he displayed in the rematch with Norton.
Ali scoring repeatedly now.
He rallied in the final round to pull out a split decision victory and put himself in a position for another rematch. This one against his arch rival Joe Frazier. The week before the fight, this bizarre scene in our Wide World studio after Ali called Joe ignorant.
Sit down quick, Joe.
This kind of thing has been going on all along in terms of promotion of the fight, and this time it seems to be for real, because Joe Frazier is really angry.
The brawl helped build Ali Frazier II into one of the biggest non-title fights in history. And this time it was Ali who dominated the late rounds, fighting a smart tactical fight and winning a unanimous decision. But in beating Joe Frazier, Ali did not win back the title he had lost to Frazier, because a year earlier, Joe had lost the title and turned to the new powerhouse of the heavyweight division, George Foreman.
I think he hurt Joe Frazier. I think Joe is hurt. Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be.
Now, a 32-year-old Ali faced this unbeaten monster.
They say he hits hard. He knocked out Joe Frazier. I couldn't do it. He knocked out Ken Norton. I couldn't do it. And this fight will prove to the world that I'm the greatest fighter of all time.
I'm going to kill you.
When they got into the ring in Kinshasa, Zaire, Ali was prepared to write perhaps the most amazing chapter in his incredible story. We'll be back with the Rumble in the Jungle and the rest of Ali later in the show.
There he is. He's running it through. A.J. Foyt will win the Indianapolis 500.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same ideas you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is
let's print it.
They own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be.
We look great with hair.
Do something to save it.
And the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor, or call this number for more information.
Whoa, you looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent girl.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
It is one thing to accelerate from a standing start. Quite another at high speed. Infiniti designed the Q45 to do both. With a variable valve timing system so advanced, there is no compromise at any speed. Infiniti has, for the first time, blurred the lines between luxury and performance.
Saturday is a golf classic and an American tradition. First, the PGA's best tee-off as coverage of the GTE Byron Nelson Classic begins. Then, ABC's Wide World of Sports heads to Churchill Downs for horse racing's premier event. The Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge begins with the Kentucky Derby. It's all live Saturday on ABC Sports.
Your car is painted black. Why is that?
Because a black color goes faster.
How can a black color go faster?
Black absorbs the heat more than the lighter color, and so if it absorbs the heat, it makes the air around it hotter, and hot air is sooner than colder, so it just goes faster.
Well, we've heard explanations just as foggy from analysts much older than young John Malick. You know, the only event that Wide World has ever entered as a participant is the London to Brighton run for antique cars. Those are cars made no more recently than 1904. Now, our car was a Rio. I was the navigator. The driver was Phil Hill, an old friend, and the first American to win the World Grand Prix Driving Championship. Now, the only object of the run is to get the old car from London to Brighton and receive a little pennant. But well into the race, after several breakdowns and other frustrations, Phil suddenly began to blow our horn at the camera car that was leading us to record our effort for Wide World. When they wouldn't go any faster, Phil started to pass them. Phil, I said, you can't pass our camera car. That's why we're here. That may be why you're here, he said. I'm here to get to Brighton. So we passed them. You see, Phil Hill's a man in love with speed. Such men are, in fact, a breed apart. Sometimes life feels like it's going this fast. But suppose it were. Suppose further that you wanted it that way. Then you can realize the mindset of those who are obsessed with the simple fact of going fast. The speed lovers. To the speed lover, the only competition is the clock.
Wells, but here comes Spitz, the 17-year-old in lane 3. Spitz is catching him. Spitz is going to make it. Spitz by the barest of margins.
We watched Mark Spitz develop into the greatest swimmer in history, setting world and American records by the dozen, winning 7 gold medals at the Olympic Games. And Wide World was there again this month when Mark began his race against that unbending master of the clock, Father Time. Franz Klammer found speed on a mountainside. We saw him win at the Olympics and at the hallowed Annenkamm run.
Oh, look at it, Klammer, wheel those arms around. He's having trouble getting through those turns.
The sub-4-minute mile was a magic number. Jim Beatty was the first to do it indoors.
He's going to make it. He's going to run the first 4-minute mile.
It looks like he made it unofficially. 3:58.60. The entire crowd on its feet as Jim Ryan pounds for home. 20 yards to go. And 10.
And in 1985, we televised the first world record for the mile ever seen live in the United States.
He has a chance at the record. It's Graham lifting, Coe fading. Gonzalez in second and Graham closing on the record. And he's done it.
The ultimate speed lover harnesses himself to a machine. We followed the great race car drivers to the World Series races. We were there when Jackie Stewart won the Grand Prix of Monaco for the second time. We saw Mario Andretti become the first driver in history to win the Indianapolis 500 and the Formula One world title. And we saw King Richard Petty win time and again on the stock car circuit. The magic distance to the race car driver is 500 miles. Indianapolis, they call it the Brickyard, home of the world's most famous race. On our first trip there, we met a young driver who has become half man, half legend as he drives in his 5th decade. This was 1967.
And there's an accident in the front straightaway. There's 2, 3, 4 cars. Where's Point? I don't know whether he can get through or not. Another car hitting the wall, bouncing back across the straightaway. Point's only got a couple hundred yards to go, but where is he? There he is. He's going to get through. A.J. Foyt will win the Indianapolis 500 in an incredible, thrilling finish.
A.J. has won 4 Indies, as many as any man who has raced there. He could win on super speedways and dirt tracks. We were there in 1967 when 10 days after winning at Indianapolis, he won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And we were there in 1972 when he became the first driver in history to win Indy Le Mans and the Daytona 500. Is he fearless? Far from it.
There's not been a race I have been in that at one time or another I hadn't scared myself. And I'm one of the few that admit it. I know you got a bunch of brave heroes out there say they're not scared of nothing. All I can say, they've never run fast enough or they've never been hurt.
Well, A.J. was seriously hurt last September when his brakes failed at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The front of his car was ripped away. He suffered serious injuries to the lower extremities. Damage done in a matter of seconds will take years to repair. Rehabilitation is a soft word for a painful, difficult process that takes great courage and determination.
Okay, so here's the
A.J. fights time also. He'll try Indy once more, listening as he drives for that last hurrah.
Walking slow down them steps.
Slow or fast, A.J. is always and forever the same.
I know a lot of people said, well, you ought to do this, or you ought to do that, or you ought to change your ways about this and that. And like I've always said, I've been A.J. and I'm going to be A.J. till I guess I go to the graveyard.
In America, your car's not just something you own. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Haviland is introducing new Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. New Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Dear Thompsons, midway through waterproofing, I ran out of Thompson's water seal and finished with another brand. Then it rained. You could see the difference. Thompson's worked. The other side looked like I hadn't used a thing. Nothing tops Thompson's. Sincerely, Marcia Jackalone.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Sunday, a network television premiere.
Who are you?
The worst nightmare. Parental discretion is advised. Sylvester Stallone, Rambo 3, Sunday.
Get the facts on the all-new 1991 Yugo GV Plus from Bay City Yugo. Fact, Bosch fuel injection, the same brand used by Mercedes-Benz. Fact, the 1.3-liter engine is the most powerful 4-cylinder engine in its class. Fact, high-quality 18-gauge steel from the same manufacturer used by Mercedes and BMW. Fact, the best new car protection of any subcompact in America. Drive the all-new GV Plus, only $49.78 from Bay City Yugo, Broad Street south of Value City East.
Rapp Marine brings affordable performance to the shores of Erie in the Switzer SS-250 offshore. 25 feet of craftsmanship available with the 365-horse Merc Cruiser. The Switzer combines comfort, speed, and stability for thousands less than you might expect. For fishermen, Rapp Marine offers Robalo, the ultimate fishing machine. And for family fun, Cobia Sports Boats, the official boat of Walt Disney World. Rapp Marine even carries quality pre-owned boats of all types. Rapp Marine, 420 West 12th Street.
Watch Lou Baxter Saturday and Sunday night at 6 and 11 on TV 24.
When Wide World of Sports began, I had never seen a figure skating event in person, but then I'd never seen the 24 Hours of Le Mans or the City of Monte Carlo or a good many other things. But principally through working with Dick Button and watching champions like Irina Rodnina, I came to realize that figure skating was definitely a sport, one that combined beautiful music, beautiful costumes, and most of all, great athletic ability. Have you tried simply to stand up on an ice skate lately? Our relationship with the sport began not with beauty and excitement, but with a tragedy. This was all that remained. The hopes and dreams, the very lives of the American team for the 1961 World Championships ended in a plane crash outside of Brussels. The championships that Wide World was contracted to televise never took place that year. This team may have been lost, but they left a great legacy to the sport. A year later, the skating nations of the world came to Prague and the championships were held. Canada's Don Jackson faced a near impossible task. Carol Devine had already skated a fine program. Jackson would need 5 9s and 6s to unseat the Czech champion. His only hope was to make history.
He is going to open his program with a triple Lutz jump. 3 revolutions from a Lutz position. The first ever done in world competition. Let's see how he does it. He has planned it. Let's see what happens. Here it comes. A beautiful triple Lutz. It's fantastic.
You've just seen something that has never happened in world competition before.
Look at the smile on his face as he goes into his final spin.
A standing ovation now from 18,000 people for Donald Jackson of Canada.
The audience is roaring approval. Congratulations, Donnie, on the greatest performance of your career.
Thank you very much. I was really pleased.
Here's the second set. A 6, a 5-8, another 6, another 6, 5-9, another 6, 5-9, a 6, and another 6. Don Jackson of Canada has done it with what may have been the greatest single skating performance of all time. Many champions have followed, each with his own style. The elegance of 2-time world champion Tim Wood. The power and showmanship of U.S. champion John Misha Petkovich. The new technical and artistic levels achieved by Olympic champion John Curry. The all-American charm of world champion Charlie Tickner. The showbiz splash of Robin Cousins, whom we enjoy to this day. We discovered Scott Hamilton leading the American team in Lake Placid. He finished 5th there, a great accomplishment for a young man who as a child suffered from a rare disease called Schwachman syndrome. He began skating as therapy, but it became his road to fame. We well remember his tribute to the 1961 American team, whose memorial fund helped turn him into the Olympic champion. Little Brian Boitano watched all of the great skaters and dreamed of becoming one of them. Our Wide World cameras discovered him at the 1982 U.S. Championships, where he completed a breathtaking triple axel. There it was. In the years that followed, we watched his transformation from a dreamer into a world and Olympic champion. Recently, he was in New York, preparing to open his highly successful skating show at Madison Square Garden.
You dream as a kid, you dream as an adult, and it never changes. When you're a kid, you dream of being an Olympic champion. And when you're an Olympic champion, you dream of doors opening up so that you can do projects that you really like. And no matter how old you get, it doesn't change. They're always fulfilling. And when I was standing on the stand in the Olympics in 1988, I had a lot of dreams. And when I was standing there, I felt a real closure. It was like I have done the best that I could in this part of my life. Now it's time to take the next step. I think that the best contribution that I can make is giving people emotion and joy when they see me skate. That's the highest compliment anybody can pay me, is that they were moved by a number that I did in a show, or they feel that they can fly when they watch me jump. And if I wanted people to remember something that I gave to them, I would want them to say that they lived vicariously through my performances.
Through the years, we've also lived vicariously through the great couples of the ice, the ageless Protopopovs, American world champions Ty Babylonia and Randy Gardner, Olympic champions Jane Torville and Christopher Dean. They all brought their own style to the ice and made their own contribution to the sport. But none had the tenacity, the endurance, and the warmth of Irina Rodnina. She was a fixture on Wide World for a decade as she won 10 consecutive world titles in pairs. It seemed there was always an unexpected story. At the 1973 World Championships, she was skating with her new partner, Alexander Zaitsev, when 2 minutes into the performance, something unbelievable happened.
And I believe something has happened. Their music has stopped. They must be on a tape, and the tape must have broken. Of course, it's not necessary for them to continue skating, but they have chosen to do so, and the audience is going out of its mind here.
I have dream. I skate my program, and music stopped. And when of next day music stopped, I was ready.
They are not giving up, no matter what it is. They are not taking the chance that they will not have the opportunity to win. They're going to skate if it kills them, and that's what they're doing.
Now the crowd is trying to give them a little rhythm to skate by. I see an official on the side attempting to wave to them, I think, to get them to stop.
That's Dr. Enderlin, who is the referee in this case. He is calling them to stop, but they're not stopping.
Enderlin says stop, and another place stage show can say skates, stop, skates, stop, skates, and we skate, skates.
And that's the end of the program.
Oh, you're watching something that has never happened before in the World Figure Skating Championship. I listen to the crowd. Their music had stopped 2.5 minutes earlier, but they finished only 1 second long. Later, this was the end. Lake Placid in 1980. The emotion she had kept inside through 11 golden years finally surfaced. A single tear for all of us to keep. One tear that said what words could not, that she loved those who had cheered her, and thanked them for loving her.
With a right lead and then the left, cleaning up. The Cuban is ready to go. The crowd goes wild. Ray Leonard upon the cross barrel. His dream is realized as he has won himself a gold medal.
At Acura, we believe that the best way to discourage limited thinking is to design cars in an environment without limits. The NSX, precision-crafted performance from Acura.
I was afraid to go to the doctor. I didn't want to hear that I might have an ulcer, but I just couldn't ignore my stomach. You can imagine how relieved I was when my doctor said Mylanta. He told me it wasn't an ulcer. It was indigestion. And indigestion like mine needed a strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
sometimes you've just got to go for it.
Why don't you try knocking me down?
Let's do it. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky V, now on Laserdisc and videocassette.
Fasten your seatbelt.
The best buddy cop movie of the year. Tough and gritty. It fires with a full clip. Clint Eastwood, Charlie Sheen, The Rookie. Look for it at your video store from Warner Home Video.
Sunday.
I'm not going to be able to go.
Suspicions are raised.
I think Tyler's seen someone else.
And spying on him reveals a shocking surprise on an all-new Life Goes On. Then, it's trooper bloopers from Saudi Arabia. And grab the kids. It's our exclusive warm-up for the dark days of summer on America's Funniest Home Videos. Then, whether by train or plane, they're totally insane.
Thank you, Mama.
America's Funniest People, Sunday.
After 3 seasons on the air without a single boxing match, our attention was attracted, as usual, not so much by a sport as by a person. His name then was Cassius Clay. His first fight with Sonny Liston has led to 322 professional fights and scores of amateur bouts on Wide World. Boxing's the most primitive of the sports we've covered, and in many ways the most powerful.
Men who find their identity in the ring stand alone. They put their hearts and bodies on the line, fight through the fear and the pain to display the rarest of qualities in modern life, courage. Along the way, we've encountered some very special fighters whose skills and personality demanded that we take notice, like Sugar Ray Leonard.
After the glory of his Olympic gold medal in Montreal, Sugar Ray Leonard turned professional. Ran off 25 wins in a row and met his first major test as a pro when he went face-to-face with welterweight champion Wilfred Benitez, one of the most respected champions in boxing. But the challenger, Leonard, dominated the action from the opening bell and was well ahead in the closing seconds of the fight.
There it is! He stopped the fight, and there is a new world welterweight champion. His name is Ray Leonard.
In his first title defense against Dave Boy Green, Ray scored one of the most devastating knockouts ever seen on Wide World.
Combinations, so long, timber.
But in his second defense, Ray ran head-on into the most menacing ring presence of his time, Roberto Duran. And here in the final round, Duran was taunting Leonard, trying to humiliate him after hurting him early in the fight and dictating the pace through much of it. It was the first time Sugar Ray would know defeat. It was also the first time he had known intimidation. At the final bell, it was Duran who threw his arms up in victory. And it was Ray Leonard who seemed dazed, whose confidence seemed destroyed. But 5 months later in the rematch, the roles were totally reversed. Now Leonard was doing the taunting, using his hand speed and movement to totally frustrate Duran, to dominate him mentally and physically, until the 8th round, when the toughest man in all of boxing said, "No mas."
What? Duran has quit! Roberto Duran has quit! There can be no other explanation. Pandemonium in the ring!
Then the fight that proved Ray's toughness and heart, once and for all. first time around with Tommy Hearns.
Good right by Hearns. And right to that Leonard eye. Now Hearns is in charge of this fight. Totally.
After 12 rounds, Ray was in deep trouble, behind on all cards with a badly damaged eye, and trainer Angelo Dundee knew it.
You're blowing it now, son. You're blowing it. Come on, Ray. You gotta be quicker. You gotta take it away from him, okay?
Sugar Ray Leonard went out in that 13th round, and he did exactly that.
Leonard trying to get back. Hearns hurt. Hearns hurt. Hearns ready to go. Oh, look at that hand speed. All those unanswered blows. Hearns is ready to go.
Hearns did go 1 round later, and Ray Leonard proved beyond the good looks and great smile there was the character and will of a true champion. He seemed unstoppable. And then, just a year later, disaster, as Ray was forced to retire following eye surgery at the age of 26. After a 2-year layoff, he returned to the ring for a fight with Kevin Howard that was supposed to be a tune-up for a series of big paydays. But a single right hand changed all that. Ray got up from the first knockdown of his career to score a TKO win, but then made this post-fight announcement.
It's just not there. I have retired for good.
According to a recent newspaper article later confirmed by Ray, it was during this period that his personal life fell apart.
So occasionally I did cocaine. Occasionally I would drink heavy. It was childish, it was stupid. And I'll be the first to admit that.
Perhaps to instill some discipline and direction into his life, Ray Leonard decided to return to the ring once more in 1987 to take on one of the preeminent champions of recent boxing history. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, unbeaten in 11 years, and once again, Ray proved why he was the fighter of the 80s. Here in round 9, with Hagler coming on, with Ray's speed of hand and foot slowed by fatigue and age, he relied on his competitive spirit to fight back time and again, to reverse the momentum, and to score a shocking upset in perhaps the greatest comeback fight of all time.
And the winner, and new heavyweight champion of the world, Sugar Ray Leonard.
When Ray Leonard turned pro back in 1977, he was just a kid with a bunch of trophies, a gold medal, and a dream. Today, he's a millionaire many times over with a palatial estate in Maryland. Back in 1977, his son Ray Jr. was still able to be carried around in Dad's arms. Today, Ray Jr. is a strapping 17-year-old on his way to college in the fall. Sugar Ray Leonard lost his last fight in February and again announced his retirement. He has time now to reflect on a truly remarkable career.
I'm starting to appreciate what I've done, and I haven't for so long. I guess because I kept moving forward, I kept going straight ahead. I never looked back at what I've accomplished, what I've been blessed with. Because you take so much for granted, and you don't appreciate it until it's over. And I look at my career, and I can only say one thing: I've been a blessed man.
Greg LeMond seems like he is about to take the lead in Stage 5 of the Tour de France.
Good game, good friends. And now that I use Fix-It-In, I can tell the ref what I really think.
Fix-It-In and forget it.
Are you nuts? Before I switched to Fix-It-In, Jones Peanut Crunchies only looked delicious.
Fix-It-In and forget it. Fix-It-In is the strongest holding denture adhesive you can get. It even stands up to the hottest liquids.
With my old adhesive, I'd never make a presentation and drink hot coffee at the same time.
For the strongest hold you can get, Fix-It-In and forget it.
I'd like to make a simple point about a gasoline additive called ProGuard. You see, without proper care, even new car engines accumulate deposits that can lead to a rough-running engine. Fortunately, there's a ProGuard. Added to a single tank full of gasoline, ProGuard's patented Tecron chemistry begins cleaning deposits not only from fuel injectors, but throughout your engine's intake system for a noticeably smoother performance. ProGuard, for a smoother running engine.
You looking for some good times? Your Kawasaki dealer's got just what you need. Good times credit. If you qualify, you can use it on just about anything in the store. Motorcycles, jet ski watercraft, apparel, accessories, even service. You'll get an answer fast, and even better, zero-down financing. So get on down to your Kawasaki dealer while you still got something left to sell you. Can you give me a hand with this door? Hello?
This is Muhammad Ali, the heavyweight champion of the world.
Target practice for George Foreman. Sugar Ray Leonard has won by a technical knockout.
Highlights of these classic fights showcase 3 decades of televised sports history. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to own the best of ABC's wide world of sports. Now on collectible cassettes, each decade for only $19.98 plus $3 shipping and handling. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
How many athletes have we seen? Thousands. And each name brings its own memory. In our second month on the air, for example, in the spring of 1961, we saw a British soccer player named Len Chalmers play for an hour with a broken leg. My British colleague kept calling him poor old Chalmers. But Chalmers finished the game, and he's remembered to this day. We've always admired human endurance in wide world of sports. We've seen many people who exemplified that quality, from cyclists in the Tour de France to explorers in Antarctica. They've come in many shapes and sizes, in many sports and places. But perhaps most memorable of all, there was a woman named Julie Moss. The Ironman triathlon starts and finishes under the full moon. It's a long time for the human body to be pushed to the limit. For some, like Julie Moss, it can be too long. In 1982, we watched Moss lead the women's race for close to 11 hours before collapsing within yards of the finish. She was passed by Kathleen McCartney. Her body was far past its limit, but from somewhere inside, her will carried the body to the end of the cruel race.
I think what people saw was this drive, this willing to continue, and that I wasn't really conscious of that. I mean, that was there. That was sort of that thing that just sort of came through, and it was a surprise.
The Ironman triathlon is punishment in the midst of beauty on the big island of Hawaii. Beauty and terrible heat. It's an event of extremes, a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bike ride, and only then, a marathon, 26 miles, 385 yards. Alone, they're 3 tough tests. Together, they're the Ironman. The Ironman is about overcoming the physical limitations of human beings. Overcoming that devil inside who urges us all to quit. Dave Scott won the event the first time he challenged it, and 5 more times after that, he found his identity within the Ironman, the physical and psychological point where he's at his best. There are many ways to test endurance. This is Alaska, where the caribou lope across the endless snow, endless miles of untouched wilderness, and a sled dog race of 1,100 miles from Anchorage to Nome that the locals call the last great race on Earth, the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. To challenge the Iditarod is to face winds of more than 60 miles an hour, temperatures that drop to 40 below. The Iditarod began as a tribute to Alaska's history and its way of life, but during the 1980s, it's become very much a race. For 11 days or more, mushers and their teams run day and night across the Alaskan wilderness. You might expect an all-male event, but actually the Iditarod owes its identity more to 4-time winner Susan Butcher than to any other person. She's built her life around this race. The key to winning the Iditarod is knowing when to run and when to rest your team. It's about patience, waiting until your team is ready and the weather is right to make your move. Some stakes are very high.
How would you like to have the hopes of 300,000 Alaskan males riding on your shoulders?
Well, Rick Swenson's hopes were answered this year when he made the big break during a blizzard late in the race and ran into Nome unchallenged. He's the first 5-time winner. But bragging rights in Iditarod aren't decided in a single year. It's a way of life. Susan Butcher will be back. There are dangers in any long-distance race. There are strange things seen in the overtired mind, things that don't really exist.
Oh, I got in a whiteout last night.
Sometimes the body body continues when the mind has drifted into a strange, disoriented, mumbling dream world.
Michael?
Oh, is that you?
Hi. Listen, what's going through your sleepy mind?
The way the race is going to become. Because you get a person like me.
The Transcontinental Race across America was the first endurance cycling event of its kind in the United States. A journey of 8 days or more from coast to coast, men and women, day and night, in any kind of weather. Why? For each rider, a different reason, a different rationale for an event that defies rationality. Unlike many endurance events, which take place in lonely privacy, the Tour de France is a national occasion, France's greatest sports event, 200 cyclists on the same course that others dared a long time ago. And it's French, extremely French. The lure of the Tour extends across the world. Greg LeMond understands that. He was the first American to win it in 1986. But as he started in 1989, he was trying to recapture that form, taken away by an errant shotgun pellet that almost took his life in 1987. Alone on the roads of France, LeMond learned that while his body had been weakened, his will to persevere had never been stronger. He encountered another man who had known both victory and injury. LeMond and Laurent Fignon were different in almost every way, but they both possessed a willingness to reach deep within themselves for strength and courage. For 3 weeks, they engaged in the greatest head-to-head battle the Tour de France had ever known. But they both knew it would come down to that final day in Paris. LeMond trailed by 50 seconds, a seemingly insurmountable deficit over a 15-mile individual time trial. But as he approached the finish line, Greg LeMond was winning the Tour de France. Fignon's victory party was canceled. He was 8 seconds too late. Greg LeMond won again last year, a 3-time winner of the Tour de France, twice our Athlete of the Year.
Now watch the recoil, bud. He really lets him have it. That thing's got to weigh about 10 pounds.
Nothing beats being a fan. Nothing beats the sound of cheers. Nothing beats clean, crisp, and cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing. Nothing beats a bud. Yeah, nothing. Nothing beats a bud. Nothing. Nothing beats the Budweiser.
Ice cold Budweiser.
Nothing beats a bud.
To change the image of a rebel, change lenses. You've got the Rebel camera, now push it. With the whole line of EOS lenses. Hit it, Andre.
Image is everything.
EOS Rebel and lenses from Canon, so advanced it's simple.
Power Stick antiperspirant. It gives a man what he needs to excel. Power. Control. Power Stick. Stroke per stroke, 50% more power. 50% more odor and wetness fighters. 24-hour control that ordinary deodorant sticks just can't beat. All day, all night. Power Stick for 24-hour control.
If you order a suit designed around the way you're built, you have to wait about 2 months. If you want a house designed around the way you live, the wait is 2 years. But if what you desire is a car designed around the way you drive, you don't have to wait another day. The 1991 Acura Legend Coupe.
Your mount is ready. The crowd awaits. The dream of a lifetime is about to begin. It's the Kentucky Derby live Saturday on ABC Sports.
You hear the phrase every week on our program, the constant variety of sport. What exactly does that mean? What's it all about? Well, it's about all the continents and 54 countries, more than 100 different sports, but something more, too. As we hear from my friend of many years, Jack Whitaker.
Thank you very much, Jim. And here we are with another one of those famous Wide World of Sport scene sets. This is the real McCoy, no studio. You know, you'd think after 30 years of spanning the globe and the constant search for the variety of sport that there wouldn't be anything new to tell or a new place to go. Well, that's not true. There'll always be new stories to cover and great places to go. As a matter of fact, we've never been to Mississippi or Montana.
Probably because we were too late to cover the Dempsey-Gibbons fight in Shelby.
Or the salad days of Charlie Connolly at Ole Miss.
We're going to correct that now as we go to Montana, and later you'll join us in Mississippi. Right now, you're about to see a game called golf. That's right, ski golf. And the course is laid out over the entire mountain, where just playing this game in the snow is a natural hazard. Let's tee it up and join our foursome on number 1 for some fun.
Right. Swing.
Oh, you can do it. Concentrate.
Whoa! I didn't get very much out of that one.
Better to hit this shot off your back foot. Snow shovels not allowed, but recommended. No jumping sign. Now, why in the world would you need that on a golf course? Ah, that's why. Let's now take a look at the constant variety that has been ours for 30 years.
He's just going to hit him right in the chest.
Now watch the recoil, Bud. He really lets him have it.
Oh! Our leader really gets it.
Looks like a good firing. Looks good.
Flash. Perfect hit.
Day I was born, the nurses all gathered round. They gazed in wide window at the joy they had found. The head nurse spoke up, said, leave this one alone. She could tell right away that I was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. I broke 1,000 hearts before I met you. I break 1,000 more, baby, before I am through. I wanna be yours, pretty baby, yours and yours alone. I'm here to tell you, honey, that I'm bad to the bone. Bad to the bone.
There he is, dunking your ball. Who else is there? Final bid is 3-no trump.
He done it again. He's back, Bud. And he makes it. Oh, he almost went off the ramp.
Number 1, you bet. The United States amateurs, the college kids, are the best.
Best being beaten by Lewis. Lewis breaks away and wins the 100-meter final. And down the stretch they come. Here's the finish of the Brinks. Sunday silence and easy goer. Photo finish. Noses apart. I can't tell. That I'm bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad. Bad. Oh, bad. Oh.
And here we have Mississippi, Tupelo to be exact, the home of Elvis. And boy, were they ready for us. As the last state for Wide World coverage, they rolled out the big brass. We were here for a 10K race in which the fastest in town, along with the Elvis clones, were going to give it a whirl.
Runner to your mark. To your mark. God bless Elvis.
The race was off, and our Elvis clone finished somewhere near the back of the pack. At least that's what Elvis told us. Imagine, it took 30 years to get to Mississippi.
Just as Tupelo considers Elvis to be its good luck charm, we at Wide World of Sports consider every athlete and venue we have touched to be our good luck charm. And we want you to rest assured that for the next 30 years, our relentless spanning of the globe in search of the constant variety of sports shall continue, uninhibitedly, unabashedly, and unashamedly. Happy anniversary, Wide World of Sports. Happy anniversary.
Now watch this. Watch this. Back sunny right to the other bar.
Has that been done before by
Never. Never. Not by any human that I know of.
To help relieve her heartburn, her antacid uses aluminum and magnesium, but his is Tums, and Tums has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway.
I like that.
Tom's. Bennett, no better way to face the day. When the sun comes up and I'm feeling fine, 'cause the AM surely is my favorite time.
The morning belongs to Speed Stick. It's what more men reach for: to prepare, to prevent, to protect. Speed Stick, 110% protection.
No better way to face the day. No better way to face the day.
Speed Stick, 110% protection.
When it's heartburn,
Plus gas.
get new Tom's Plus. Calcium-rich antacid relief plus gas-busting simethicone.
No other antacid gives you that.
New Tom's Plus.
Lieutenant Colombo, LAPD.
Dabney Coleman guest stars in an all-new movie special. Ooh. Colombo and the Murder of a Rock Star, Monday.
These beautiful scenes are brought to you by Subaru to let you know that it's now Spring Value Days at your Subaru dealer, where you can save over $700 on Legacy L sedans and wagons with the Value Plus package. Plus, with substantial factory-to-dealer cash, you could save hundreds more. Come to your Subaru dealer, because while some cars can handle this kind of weather, a Subaru is also built to handle this kind.
Spring Value Days at New Motors, south of I-90 on Upper Peach, 3 minutes from the Mill Creek Mall. Can you read this? If you can't, you're not alone. Many people in Crawford County have a reading problem, and are doing something about it. Thanks to the Crawford County Read program, people are upgrading their jobs and feeling better about themselves.
The adult reading program helped me improve my life. Today, I have a great job and new self-confidence.
Today, I can honestly say reading has changed my life.
Let the Crawford County Read program help. In the Meadville area, call 337-7323. In the Titusville area, call 827-2913.
E's Wide World of Sports 30th Anniversary Special is being brought to you by Infinity, who invite you to test drive their full line of performance luxury automobiles. And by Valvoline Motor Oil. People who know use Valvoline.
Gymnastics has changed dramatically in this country since 1961, and Wide World documented America's rise to international prominence. With Kathy Rigby at the 1970 World Championships, Kurt Thomas at the 1978 World Championships, and Mary Lou Retton at the 1984 American Cup. But the gymnastics boom in the United States can be traced to two young ladies from distant lands, Olga Korbut of the Soviet Union and Nadia Comaneci of Romania. We came to know them simply as Olga and Nadia. Olga Korbut grabbed our attention at the 1972 Olympics by performing maneuvers never seen before.
Jim, if she hits, you won't believe that she's the second best on her team. Now watch this. Watch this. Back Subby right to the other bar.
Has that been done before by a girl?
Never. Not by any human that I know of.
This, then, is a historic performance you're watching right now in gymnastics.
She captivated us with her smile and with her tears. There were better gymnasts in Munich, but in the hearts of Americans, there was only one Olga.
Great crowds have jammed New York's Madison Square Garden for the fabulous Russian girls. This will be, they tell us, the largest crowd ever to see the sport of gymnastics in the Western Hemisphere. And to be quite frank about it, they've mostly come to see one girl, little Olga Korbut. You must remember her from Munich. Olga's popularity in the United States had a tremendous impact on her life and her gymnastics. Lear jets whisked her off to visit with presidents, and there are trips to Disneyland to meet Mickey Mouse. She and her teammates embarked on a worldwide tour, but Olga's ever-present smile hid her personal agony.
It was grueling work. We performed 2 or 3 times a day. We were earning hard currency for the Soviet Union and never saw any of it. I lost all the joy for gymnastics and eventually came to hate my sport.
By the 76 Olympics, we saw a far different Olga. Undertrained and overworked, she seemed an older, sadder gymnast.
Really how she feels at this point. She changed her mount. Oh, that was not her opening. She usually starts with a double back.
To tell you the truth, I didn't want to perform in those Olympics, but I had to for the team gold. For me, this year practically did not exist.
The 1976 Olympics would belong instead to a 14-year-old farm girl from Romania, Nadia Comaneci. Plucked from kindergarten by her aspiring coach Bella Caroli, Nadia became the sporting world's youngest sensation and her country's most well-known citizen. At 4'11", Nadia was tiny like Olga, but her fame didn't come from a smile that lit up the arena. It came from gymnastics perfection.
She is really moving well. Another handstand. Look at that, right to the handstand. Gorgeous routine, beautiful, and the crowd loves it. And it is a perfect 10.
It was the first perfect 10 in Olympic competition and one of 7 perfect 10s she received in Montreal. The sport wasn't ready for Nadia. Even the scoreboard couldn't display the magic number. Nadia returned home to a hero's welcome from the now deposed dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu. Winning had made her proud, but it also made her a prisoner to the state. She was separated from Coach Caroli and forced to choose official functions over training. Within 2 years, the politics had taken their toll. The 1978 World Championships were a shattering experience.
Oops, a fall. That completely knocks her out.
But Nadia Comaneci completely coming apart on the uneven bars where she thrilled the world in Montreal.
Before she retired in 1984, Nadia had regained her Olympic form, but it took a suicide attempt to get Bella back. They were separated again when Caroli defected in 1981. Wide World visited Nadia in 1986 as she was preparing gymnasts for international trips, but she was no longer allowed to travel outside the communist bloc. In November of 1989, she plotted her escape with her brother and Constantine Panate. On the morning of November the 26th, she boarded a train for the 350-mile trip from Bucharest to the Hungarian border. From there, she walked for 6 hours on a snowy night to freedom.
I'm very happy because I'm here in America and I wanted from long time to come here.
Nadia now lives in Montreal. She is performing gymnastics exhibitions while working on a movie of her life. Last month, she visited Caroli at his ranch in Houston. Living in the West has opened her eyes to a whole new world.
I learned how important it is to be open and kind with the people. And I learned how important it is to take care of yourself and to make some things for yourself. I didn't make anything for myself in Romania, you know, because I didn't have the chance. I didn't have the motivation. Here I have, and I'm very proud of that.
But what about Olga? It's been 14 years since we saw her compete on Wide World. Like Nadia, she has recently left her homeland and has come to this rural New Jersey town where the community has warmly embraced her. They've loaned Olga and her family this home, where she lives with her husband Leonid, a rock star in the Soviet Union, and their 12-year-old son Richard. They came here to protect their son from the worst nuclear accident in history at the Chernobyl nuclear reactor located 180 miles south of their home in Minsk. Olga remains a Soviet citizen and has not forgotten those she left behind. She's established the Olga Corbett Foundation through the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center in Seattle to aid victims of Chernobyl. She and her family underwent examinations earlier this month which showed no signs of radiation-caused illness. Olga was never embraced by the Soviet gymnastics establishment, who saw her as more of an acrobat than an artist. But now, within the confines of this converted A&P market, where she coaches every weeknight, she has found the love she waited for from her countrymen, but never received. Olga has always been a far brighter star in our eyes than theirs.
Sometimes I feel sorry for myself, and at the same time, I still believe that I will recover the joy of gymnastics.
A lot of speed in that track. Now look out! Look at him go! Oh, baby. What a terrible fall.
It took time and hard work. No one had ever done it before. The technology that combined front-wheel drive and multi-link suspension simply didn't exist. 5 years later, there is the Infiniti G20 midsize luxury sedan. And the chance to discover what's already been called one of the best handling cars in the world is right around the corner. A company can learn a lot in 125 years. Valvoline has. You learn in the lab, you learn on the road, you learn on the racetrack. As you learn, you make your product better. And better and better. Today's Valvoline will keep your engine cleaner than ever before. And cleaner means more protection against engine wear. 125 years of quality. That's why people who know use Valvoline.
Listen to my nephew. He's gonna be a lawyer like me. He's even gonna look like me.
Oh, really? So does that mean on his first big trial day, the jury's gonna notice his winning smile?
Yeah.
And his great suit.
Yeah.
Oh, his little flakes.
No, dandruff? Me?
Oh, it can happen to perfect people. Here, just use my shampoo.
Head and shoulders. But you don't have dandruff.
I rest my case.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Get your little behinds in there.
All over the world, there's a ritual that takes place right before bedtime.
And don't forget to wash behind your ears.
And for over 35 years, one faucet has helped more kids get away with it.
And you two better be clean.
Or not. Delta, the way water is brought to life.
What a moment, Jim. None of us will ever forget that remarkable moment with owner Mrs. Frances Getter and trainer Carl Nosker as unbridled won last year's Kentucky Derby. Never has the image of the thrill of victory been more vivid.
That's right. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. The words have been quoted and parodied, used in headlines and analyzed by experts. When we scribbled them out a long time ago, there was no thought that they'd last for 3 decades. They simply seem to sum up in 9 words what our program and sport and life, I guess, are all about. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. In sport, as in life, there's a faceless fate that offers in one hand the thrill of victory, while hiding in the other the agony of defeat. You cannot have the one without risking the other. And for one person's victory, there is another's inevitable and heartbreaking defeat. Victory over what? Sometimes over cultural barriers that have divided people for years, sometimes for centuries. We saw a victory over cultural barriers when Linda Fratiani taught a young Chinese child how to lick a lollipop. Communication through candy. We saw it again on a pond in Moscow where Brian Boitano communicated with his skates. And we saw it in Madison Square Garden with the musical communication of Nancy Thies and Zhou Xiaosheng. Today, Nancy is Mrs. Marshall, a wife and mother who teaches gymnastics in Salem, Oregon, continuing an association that has had a tremendous impact on her life.
There's a box out in my garage that's filled with all my medals that I earned from the meets that I competed in, and it's in my garage. And yet, there's memories of a special moment within me that will never tarnish or be put in the garage. There are special memories around our home that will remind us of that friendship.
The unlikely friendship was formed in 1973 at a U.S.-China gymnastics meet. The cassette with Nancy's music wouldn't work. A Chinese pianist came to the rescue.
The Chinese pianist said, "Would you play this music for me?" She doesn't have any sheet music. Muriel Grossfeld is over there just saying, "Play something."
Bill, this is absolutely unprecedented. The piano player is just going to follow what Nancy does.
He's watching her.
Isn't that nice?
I'd never had a standing ovation, although I think they were clapping more for Mr. Joe than for me. But it was just the most incredible emotional moment for me, of victory. Feeling like I did it. I overcame that obstacle. We overcame that obstacle. And that was incredible.
The friendship has grown over the last 18 years, simplified by the fact that Mr. Joe now lives not in Beijing, but in San Diego. Her story has been published in both English and Chinese.
It was a teachable moment in my life when I learned a valuable lesson. And now, because I can read this story to my son and tell it to my son, it can be a teachable moment. It was one of the greatest thrills of victory in my life.
There we are. Yeah.
We've learned how a society torn apart from within can draw together and rally around a true sportsman. One such man was Barry McGuigan. McGuigan learned to fight in a home-built gym in Clones, a mile south of the border between Ireland and Northern Ireland. He's a Catholic who married a Protestant and made his family a symbol against the age-old conflict within Ireland. He tried to bring peace with his fists, and in 1985, he became the WBA featherweight champion.
By McGuigan, and a left hand, and down goes Pedroza.
McGuigan defended his title in Belfast and Dublin, the two capitals of a divided land. Barry couldn't end the tragedy, but when he climbed into the ring and his father, Paddy, sang Danny Boy, all Irishmen could put aside their differences, if just for a moment, and raise their voices as one people. We've seen the world's greatest athletes, and we've seen the most loving and determined. Those Olympic athletes called special. Special they are.
That's sensational.
Certain fathers and sons have a feeling for each other that's very special. Consider the case of Dick and Rick Hoyt. Rick was born with cerebral palsy. Doctors told his parents to put their son in an institution, but they said no. In time, he learned to communicate with a computer and is now a 28-year-old senior at Boston University. At 16, Rick asked his dad to enter a race with him. They've been competing ever since. We found them in 1989 at the Ironman Triathlon, where Dick explained the special relationship within Team Hoyt.
It's Rick to get me into it. Why should I go on doing all that? I just don't have no desire to go out there and do it. It wouldn't be the same. I wouldn't know what to do. What am I going to do with my arms? I don't know.
Rick told his father after that first race that when they were running, he didn't feel handicapped. In the final stages of the Ironman, we began to understand. If we were to make a coin symbolizing our program, it would have on one side the thrill of victory, and on the other, its inevitable companion, the agony of defeat. And as long as Wide World of Sports endures, that will always be the breathtaking leap of Vinko Bogataj. Vinko owns a special, if negative, place in American sport, a prominence he never found in his homeland. He lives a quiet life in northern Yugoslavia, a husband, father of 2 teenage daughters. He remains involved in ski jumping, but the great love of his life is now painting. The walls of his home are covered with paintings of his native Slovenia. But Vinko's historic jump is 2 countries away in Oberstdorf, Germany. 21 years later, he finally returned to the place where he became famous by accident.
Now we go to Vinko Bogataj, the Yugoslavian, the youngster. His inexperience, he fell on his first jump.
A lot of speed in that track. Now, look out! Look at him go! Oh! Oh, baby. What a terrible fall.
Vinko has replayed that nightmare jump thousands of times in his mind, about as many times as it has opened Wide World. He'll never know for sure what went wrong, but it has taught him the most basic rule of sport.
The difference between victory and defeat in sports is well said in the thoughts of Jim McKay, because the difference between the two can be very slight. All sportsmen should know that.
And he remembers his earlier jump that fateful day, perhaps the leap of a lifetime. Not a nightmare, but a dream come true.
A big jump for Vinko Bogataj. He's looking up at his 410 feet.
And the only way they'll get me out of the air is to shoot me out with an anti-aircraft gun, because I am going to go, believe me.
If
the chalky taste of your antacid makes it harder and harder to take. Now there's new Mylanta Cherry and Cool Mint Creams, the best tasting antacids, blended creamier for a non-chalky taste.
No wonder my doctor said Mylanta.
These days, there are more pain relievers than ever. But last year, more people switched to Tylenol gel caps than any other. Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. Concentrated, powerful, easy to swallow. Join the switch to Tylenol gel caps.
Your biggest competitor is working on a proposal for the same job you're after.
You want this to be enlarged?
They have about the same ideas you do.
Copy this slide.
The only difference is
Let's print it.
they own a Canon color laser copier, and you don't. Who would you give the job to? If you think you can't afford a Canon color laser copier, maybe you can't afford to be without one. Call 1-800-OK-CANON.
Come on and lose that weight, get your body slim. Lose yourself in the taste. You gotta
Dynatrim, the weight loss plan from the makers of Centrum. Just blend for a delicious shake. Blend longer for a creamy mousse. Or freeze it for a frozen treat. Come on, lose yourself in the taste.
more delicious ways to lose it. Shake it, freeze it, creamy mousse it. You've never been so thin. Introducing Dynatrim. Lose yourself in the taste.
Saturday, it's a golf classic and an American tradition. First, the PGA's best tee-off as coverage of the GTE Byron Nelson Classic begins. Then, ABC's Wide World of Sports heads to Churchill Downs for horse racing's premier event. The Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge begins with the Kentucky Derby. It's all live Saturday on ABC Sports.
Whether you believe in television ratings or not, they are in fact the only wheel in town, the only standard of measurement by which we know whether you're watching or not. For 30 years, Wide World of Sports has been the highest rated sports anthology show on television. Notice the 4 highest rated shows. You'll see the names of 2 men who played prominent roles in our show's success, Muhammad Ali and Evel Knievel.
The spokes and the rim of a motorcycle wheel and the colors red, white, and blue have a common meaning: freedom. The freedom of the open road, the freedom most Americans hold so dear. Evel Knievel believed in both. With his red, white, and blue cape and U.S. #1 mentality, he was a real-life comic book hero. But above all else, Evel Knievel was the ultimate gambler.
Daredevils have been part of Wide World since the early days when 4 men, 3 Frenchmen, and an Englishman scaled the Eiffel Tower. George Willey climbed the 110-story World Trade Center in 1977 and was promptly arrested. And one of the most memorable climbs seen live on Wide World was of Angel's Landing in Utah.
George, are you all right?
Yep. Philippe Petit was a high-wire walker who crossed between the towers of the cathedral in Laon, France. Motorcycle daredevils were in vogue in the 70s like Little Debbie Lawler and a man who called himself Super Joe Einhorn. But they were no match for the ultimate daredevil.
Woke up with a heavy head and I thought about leaving town. I could have died if I wanted to, slipped over the edge and drowned. But oh no, baby, I won't give up that easy, no.
His name, Evel Knievel.
Too many time tracks in the sands of time. Too many love affairs that stop on a dime. Well, oh, baby, I think it's time to make some change around here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's give a great Canadian welcome to a man who is known throughout the world as the last of the gladiators, the all-time king of the daredevils, Evel Knievel.
Evel made his debut on Wide World in 1967 as a filler act at a motorcycle race in Gardena, California. He cleared 15 cars and was never a filler act again.
Oh, I feel that if a guy's going to be supposed to be #1 and stands for #1, that he ought to jump as far as he can until he isn't ready to do it anymore.
Evel now lives in a place called Camelot, just outside of Phoenix.
If you don't have the guts to pull the trigger and get from point A to point B, which is 160 or 170 feet, which is across a football field, It doesn't matter what kind of landing gear you got, you're not going to get there anyway.
Let's go back, Bob. When did it all begin, as you like to say? When did you decide you were going to be a risk taker?
Well, I raced motorcycles for years, and the pay was so low at that time for motorcycle racers and hockey players, which I was both of, that I decided the public would support a motorcycle daredevil show. So I put the whole show together.
Evil was a master showman who in 1974 found the perfect place for the 1-mile jump he had dreamed of, the Snake River Canyon in Idaho. He traded his motorcycle in for a rocket-powered skycycle.
I'll jump it. And the only way they'll get me out of the air is to shoot me out with an anti-aircraft gun, because I am going to go. Believe me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Evil, stay with the bird, stay with the bird. It looks like you're going to go into the canyon. You had a premature shoot. You have a good shoot on you. Come on. Stay with the vehicle. Stay with the vehicle. Put your visor up as you can.
Evil Knievel is standing in the boat and waving. He is alive and well.
The parachute was fired by a drogue gun, which is like a shotgun shell. And there was so much G-load when I hit that fire button that it just blew everything to pieces inside of the canopy. I did not pull that ripcord.
With the Snake River behind him, Knievel took off to conquer the world, and he introduced his brash American persona to the British.
Well, I think he's mad. Well, I think it's a bit stupid. He's American.
Knievel's challenge was to soar over 13 double-deck buses, and he knew it wouldn't be easy. When it was time to go, the crowd in Wembley Stadium was in a frenzy.
67 season Palace, here he goes, and he will go.
I bounced right up over the handlebars, and I tried to hang on to that motorcycle like a raging bull going down that landing ramp, but I just couldn't hang on to it. And then it eventually just ate me alive. It burned me and followed me almost 100 yards right into the wall and landed
I helped pull it off.
Frank, what happened? Hit a little short, I think, pal.
Yeah, just missed it.
That's enough, man. You've proved enough. Let's get the stretcher.
Let me get off the ramp. Please help me walk off the ramp. Frank, take me off.
I got you, buddy. Whatever you want. You got it.
Then we can look back now and laugh a little bit, but maybe you would have hit a few less 5-irons over the Thames River the night before.
Yeah, we were out there playing golf that night trying to hit balls over the Thames River.
You know, you told me when we walked in this, it's too much. I can't make this. Then you went over and went to sleep. I don't believe it.
I was trying to forget it.
Evil had looked death in the eye in Wembley, and he didn't blink. But that was part of his makeup.
I'm not a normal person. I'm not afraid of death under any circumstances. I think that God put us here as human beings to do the best and live the best and be the best we can. And when he's ready, he's going to take you.
The highest-rated show in wide world history came later in 1975 when Knievel cleared 15 Greyhound buses. This time, Evil had gambled and won.
I admit I did gamble with my life, which is what other people didn't do. But I consider myself the ultimate gambler.
What a performance. Peggy Fleming.
I'd like to make a simple point about a gasoline additive called Krogard. You see, without proper care, even new car engines accumulate deposits that can lead to a rough-running engine. Fortunately, there's a Krogard. Added to a single tank full of gasoline, Krogard's patented Tecron chemistry begins cleaning deposits not only from fuel injectors, but throughout your engine's intake system for a noticeably smoother performance. Krogard, for a smoother running engine.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head and Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
It's a hard-hitting new series with no scripts and no recreations. The life of a detective at home and on the job.
Get your hands up.
The American Detective previews Thursday.
You do the best you can do. Hard work and dreams come true.
Right now, get a loaded Ford Tempo with great options like air conditioning, tilt steering, electric mirrors, power locks, AM/FM stereo with cassette and clock, and a lot more. A total savings of $1,700, $189 a month for only 36 months. Now that's quality plus value.
Ford dealers, quality for life.
Gotta come up with $1,000 by tomorrow. They're gonna sell my car. Say, guys.
Dan's out of money and friends.
The entire secretarial pool is standing me up.
So Bo gives him a loan for a night on town.
Look out, ladies! There's a bull on the loose!
Bo's ready to charge, but he's giving Dan a fever.
You'll get your Mercedes when I get some ladies.
His moves on the next Night Court. Watch Teresa Mertland Saturday and Sunday at 6 and 11 on TV 24.
The first time an American, only Midori Ito has completed a triple axel in competition.
We've seen many athletes turn the ice skate into a tool for achievement. From Don Jackson's triple Lutz in 1962 to Tanya Harding's triple axel in 1991, we've seen the constant progression of athletic achievement in figure skating. But skating's about more than that. Dick Button says many little girls can play the minute waltz in a minute, but that doesn't make them musicians, nor does a triple jump alone make a skater an artist. Peggy Fleming is the perfect example of the skater as artist, today as she was at age 15.
About 10 years ago, I said that there would be no more tours. You know, the element of me performing, I miss that expressive feeling, and something as physical as skating, to be able to be creative and expressive, is something that I miss out of my everyday life. I just was a real perfectionist when it came to skating. I always wanted to be the best skater out on any practice session or any session. I wanted everybody to look at me. I think the best performance I ever gave as an amateur skater was at the National Championships right before the Olympic Games in Grenoble.
Watch it now. And an utterly exquisite jump. Never do you get a feeling that she is out of control.
I would have loved to have had my Olympic performance be the best performance of my whole life. And I did okay, but I didn't skate like I wanted to skate, but it was enough to win. I've had a lot of very special moments as a professional. Greg and I met when we were very young out in Colorado. I was in high school and he was in college. And so we've gone through a lot of things together. We didn't have children until we were married for about 7 years and had Andy, and just loved the experience of being a parent, and finally had Todd just a couple of years ago. I think I'd like to be remembered in skating for combining it all, combining the artistic elements with the technical elements, and, you know, making that transition of being an amateur skater to a professional skater, and then being, you know, a married lady and having children. I mean, I feel very fortunate to have a very happy life.
Figure skating is a sport of hard work and big dreams and continuing renewal, of the girl next door and the cool ice queen, of the young champion who becomes the old pro or the loving mother, of endless tomorrows with new faces bringing new ideas to the ice. It's a story that goes on and on.
All these things I feel and more. My mother's mother felt, and hers before. A chain of life begun upon the shore of love. Primordial seed has stretched through time to reach to me. And now I can see the chain extending. My child is next in a line that has no ending. And here am I, feeling like her child will feel when I'm long gone. Yes, all that was is part of me, as I am part of what's to be. And thus it is our story goes on and
Is this thing on TV?
You're on live, Mom.
Oh, you looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent girl.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
Shine a light on you, shine a light on me. Keep your Bud Light shining for everyone to see.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it. You know you got it right. 'Cause everything else is just a light. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Everything else is just a light. You got to shine on. Everything else is just a light.
In my considered opinion, it's okay to enjoy mowing one's lawn. Oh, for heaven's sake. In fact, my snapper significantly enhances my sense of well-being. Of course, my snapper dealer was kind enough to offer a 14-day money-back test drive. The good man really stands behind his machines. So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional help. That's right. See your snapper dealer. Anything less just won't cut it.
They've proven themselves on tracks across the nation. Now the country's top 3-year-olds meet at Churchill Downs for horse racing's premier event. The Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge begins with the Kentucky Derby. Live Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. ABC's Wide World of Sports Athlete of the Decade. Brought to you by Acura Automobiles.
I predicted after the first round, everybody in the world, every arena, every ballpark, every theater, every stadium will be standing on their toes, shouting, Ali.
There is always an air of mystery when two of the biggest men in boxing climb into the ring. That was certainly the case in 1974 when Muhammad Ali faced George Foreman. As we showed you earlier, Foreman had exhibited devastating power in defeating Joe Frazier and appeared invincible. But there was a quality within Muhammad Ali that seemingly allowed him to overcome any obstacle. That quality helped make him the athlete of the decades on Wide World of Sports. But before the Foreman fight, there were few who still believed in Ali.
If there were any undecided votes, the sight of a huge George Foreman at the weigh-in had to win them over. Even longtime supporters of Ali gave him no chance. He didn't like it one bit.
You come to Africa talking like that. You're the minority in Africa. but you're the majority over here. I'll get you in Africa, you and George. I got something for you both in Africa. Oh, you make me laugh. Look at you. I don't mean to scare you, Howard. I'm just joking.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, I see you kind of sweating.
Yeah, I'm terrified.
The Foreman fight proved Ali's ring genius for all time. He realized in round one that he didn't have the legs to move the whole fight, so he decided to rope-a-dope, covering up and letting Foreman swing away, using up George's energy, sapping his strength, until here, in round 8, the champion was totally exhausted and ready to go.
Ali now taking advantage as Foreman's head was bent, and quickly a combination. All right, finally sending up Foreman down. This is almost incredible. Foreman down. He seems able to get up. He's getting word from his corner. He is up. Too late. It's over. Muhammad Ali with an 8th-round knockout recaptures the heavyweight championship of the world.
The next year, the legendary Thrilla in Manila. Third time around with Joe Frazier. Ali said the 10th round was close to death, but he summoned up the fire for a decisive rally in round 13.
There's Ali actually showing right. The mouthpiece went from the right leg. The mouthpiece went. You saw it fly out. Ali is now really giving it to Frazier. Frazier's in trouble. It's hard to believe that Ali could get this much back in the way of punching power this late in the fight.
After the 14th round, despite Joe Frazier's protest, his corner stopped the fight. Ali had won, but the price he paid was apparent moments later. As Joe Frazier stood and his gloves were cut off, Ali collapsed in the ring from total exhaustion. He had to be lifted onto a stool by his handlers. And as he sat there in that ring in Manila, perhaps he knew that he would never be the same fighter ever again. 3 years later, after losing his title to a Raw 7-fight pro named Leon Spinks, the rematch, a happening before 70,000 in the New Orleans Superdome. Ali, at age 36, proving himself once more.
On his toes again, changing his pace, shifting his tactics, using the ears, the know-how. Look at that blood getting in there. Ali, what an extraordinary career. What an extraordinary man he has been.
Ali became the first 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. It should have been a fitting end to a remarkable career. But like so many before him, Ali could not stay away. After a 2-year retirement, he came back to challenge Larry Holmes.
How you tried to make it last? Did you really think it would? Like a guest who stayed too long. Now it's finally time to leave. Yes, it's finally time to leave. As the light fades from the screen, from the famous final scene,
Today, Muhammad Ali makes his home on a beautiful farm in western Michigan. In January, he'll be 50 years old. The first thing you notice about Ali when you see him today is the effect of Parkinson's syndrome, which has slowed his movements and slurred his speech. His doctors prescribe medicine that would help his condition, but Ali hates to take drugs and sometimes avoids it. But when you spend time with Muhammad, you realize that what the doctors say is true. Only his body has been affected. His mind remains alert. He is still a warm, engaging man, loving and loved by his wife, Lonnie, and by his children, and by people everywhere, from a neighbor's daughter in Michigan to an adoring throng in India where there's never been a professional fight. Ali spends much of his day answering the thousands of letters that pour in month after month. Occasionally, he trains in a barn converted to a gym. And every day, He observes the Islamic teachings that remain central to his life. Ali still has the ability to laugh at himself. He still knows how to play to a camera. Muhammad Ali remains a proud man. He is a man with much to be proud of.
At Acura, we believe that the best way to discourage limited thinking is to design cars in an environment without limits. The NSX, precision-crafted performance from Acura.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Haviland is introducing new Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. New Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
If you've been taking aspirin for years and not Tylenol, there's something you should know. You might think because you don't feel any stomach irritation, there is no stomach irritation. But doctors know sometimes too much aspirin can be rough on your stomach and you might not even feel it. Ask your doctor. And is it any wonder that today hospitals use Tylenol 23 times more than all aspirin brands combined? Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
I like what shampoo and conditioner do for my hair, but I love what Pert Plus does for me. Pert Plus is a unique shampoo and conditioner in one, so my hair turns out just the way I like it. Clean, conditioned, looking great, but without the bother of 2 bottles. Imagine, hair I like without the fuss. That's what Pert Plus does for me. If only everything in my life was so simple.
Wash and go with Pert Plus. Also in dandruff control.
Will the Knights have their day, or will the Skyhawks fly high? New York, New Jersey meets Raleigh-Durham in the World League next Sunday on ABC Sports.
Muhammad Ali, the boxer, was a marvel to see, but it was Ali the man who enchanted us. Just as a world record in and of itself means little unless we care in some way about the person who sets it. Maybe we like them, maybe we don't. Maybe they came from our hometown or overcame some great handicap. But for some reason, we're interested in the human being who stands center stage in some field of sport. That's what Wide World has been mostly about from show number 1 to today.
You know, Jim, we were supposed to conclude our show with a retrospective of the athletes who have made Wide World of Sports. But, you know, that would have left out one very important person, that person you. For 30 years, you've been our storyteller, our friend, and the passion you hold for Wide World has rubbed off on every one of us. It's been a long road for a young reporter from Baltimore who came to New York with only a dream. Your accomplishments, Jim, must be beyond what you could have ever imagined. Now, when your name is up in lights, it simply illuminates the scope of your contributions.
You've seen 30 years of the great events on Wide World of Sports, and I think at this point you have a feeling for how difficult it has been to take some of these events with which the audience was basically unfamiliar and make them compelling. There were many people and many techniques that have been developed on Wide World of Sports over the years, but the best decision that we ever made was the first decision that we ever made, and that was to find a person who had the intelligence, who had the ability to articulate, and most of all, who had the sensitivity to understand the human drama of athletic competition. That was finding my dear friend, Jim McKay.
Gotcha.
And that's why I won't let go till I'm on the radio.
By George, I've done it.
Hello, I'm Bumps McKay, and if you believe what you just saw, then you don't know me nearly as well as I think you know me after 6.5 years on this program.
The greatest race of all, the Kentucky Derby.
Jim, you've always told me that when you're on the air, you talk directly to me, and now I have this great chance on the air to talk directly to you. Mary and Sean and James and I are so very proud of your accomplishments for 30 years on Wide World, but we're even prouder of your accomplishments as a husband and father and grandfather.
We're living life from this very day. New York, we're on our way.
You dirty rat.
Jim, for all of us at ABC Sports, for people all around the world, thank you for letting us share your wide world.
Thank you, pal.
You're a very special man.
Thank you, Frank.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
ABC Sports heads to Texas with PGA's best for the GTE Byron Nelson Classic. And ABC's Wide World of Sports presents an American tradition as the Chrysler Triple Crown Challenge begins. Live from Churchill Downs, it's the Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby. Now stay tuned for your local news and World News Sunday over most of these ABC stations. ABC's Wide World of Sports 30th Anniversary Special has been brought to you by Pert Plus, shampoo plus conditioner in one bottle, by new Haviland Formula 3 motor oil, by the 25th Anniversary Diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage, and by Tylenol, its pain reliever in a class by itself. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
Monday.
Lieutenant Colombo, LAPD.
Peter Falk takes a walk on the wild side. It's sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Ooh, it looks like she knew who killed her. And she knew him very well.
Dabney Coleman guest stars in an all-new movie special, Columbo and the Murder of a Rock Star, Monday.